What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Best piece of advice I've ever been given. I don't know. I honestly feel like just living in the moment is probably the best thing for me. You know, I think I'm a tad bit of an overthinker, so it's for me, living in the moment makes my life easier, and I constantly got to keep getting reminded of that.
I've given a lot of advice because I'm the most controversial 250 rider, so everyone gives me advice. I don't know. Stay humble.
Don't be a, you know what. Nah. My dad was always hard on me about not giving up, right? And I think that's something from a young age that I've instilled. So best piece of advice is to never give up.
Don't take it too seriously, I think.
That fits for you.
Yeah,
I like
it. Don't put too much pressure on yourself, I guess.
Learn how to use the front brake.
Gee, that's a big one. That's a loaded question. Best piece of advice I've ever been given? There's so many that pop up in different times and scenarios and different things. One good thing is, one thing that resonates is my dad just promised me you'll never give up, never quit.
Ryan Villopoto, Gage Villopoto, first of all, racing KJSC this weekend, Gage?
Yeah,
How are we going to do?
good. I hope I pull out a first.
What's the best advice your dad's given you?
He's never really told me an advice.
Wow, RV.
Yeah, I left him hanging, I guess.
Jeez. Well, let's ask you that. The question of the week is, what's the best advice you've ever been given? Then you can pass that on to Gage.
Oh, I honestly, one piece of advice, there's not one. I mean, with this sport, there's a lot to learn. You know, Drew Adams just popped in. He's actually out checking the track out right now, and you know, he stepped in as a fill-in rider for PC out at A2, and you know, you're constantly nonstop learning and trying to take all the advice because there's so much advice, you know. So, but it's a lot to take in, especially for somebody like him, a rookie coming in, stepping in, a fill-in rider. Now he's here. Now we're sitting here at in Phoenix, and he's going to go out for his second event, right? So there's a lot, dude. There's so much. Just trying to you know, have a level head when you're first time in a stadium. You had your whole life to be prepared for this. You know, I think Drew raced KGSC also.
Yeah.
You know, so I have, you know, Gage racing Phoenix this weekend. Brax is going to do Dallas. So honestly, just for those guys as a kid, right? Like now, just go out and have fun, try hard, and let the chips fall where they're going to fall.
Well, Gage, good luck this weekend, and I hope you have fun, number one. I hope you win, but I hope you have fun, number one.
Yeah.
I've ever been given was when my dad told me, if you don't twist that throttle when I was 17 years old, you're gonna be working you're gonna be working 8 to 5. And I was like, better, you know, take it serious. And you know, we've been vibing off of that. Every person, I always try to tell, you know, be who you are, be yourself. Don't pretend to be something that you ain't. Treat the janitor always as a CEO. Respect elders. Stay in school. Always have a backup plan, and save your money for rainy days.
That's a lot of good advice.
That's a lot of good advice. I've been running off of that, so I've done all of them.
The best piece of advice I was ever given was from J-Bone. Do the jumps.
I've heard that one many times.
It's the funniest, I think. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, and it is pretty like, do the jumps. That's the start. So, yeah, that's it.
I honestly can't think of anything off the top of my head right now. I think more from Phil. I think it's more just like the angry version of him. I've always just been motivated off that, and I think half my career, if he's not there at the track, he's just always texting me, quit being a pussy and just fucking ride like you know how to. And it's like, okay, I'll do that. And I know that, like, excuse the language, but I mean, I think I just like how real he is. And, you know, some people say some really good things, but I think for him, he's just super real with it. And I don't know. I just like the way he talks to me with that stuff, and it works pretty well. So, yeah, Phil has some really good advice for me all the time.
Best piece of advice. Life's not fair. And yeah, we all deal with different stuff, and we gotta learn to adapt. That's pretty much all we can do.
I would say the best piece of advice is just, you know, at the end of the day, no matter if it goes well or doesn't go well, the sun comes up the next day. So it's not always smooth sailing, but it's at the end of the day, if it's the smoothest of sailing, that makes life easy. And when it's not, you have a chance to wake up the next day and to go back to work on your craft, try to be better, and try to be better.
Have fun?
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. I mean, obviously nothing stuck out, so you've never had any good advice.
I've never had any advice where I'm like, wow, that's going to stick with me for the rest of my life.
Nothing profound.
No.
All right. Fair enough.
Be present, and the biggest thing, don't think, just do.
Live life like you're not going to wake up tomorrow.
If you're going to be dumb, you got to be tough. I don't know who said it. I mean,
If you've got a dream and you can see it, you can go for it.
Probably from Phil Nicoletti. Yeah. No, it's nothing crazy. Just we race on Saturdays and not on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So you just get your laps in during the week and focus on the race.
There's two things. Less is more for me, and this one I learned from Mohead, and it's pressure is a privilege.
Probably just be the hardest worker in the room. I have this new thing where I don't think any job isn't my job. Like, I do what I need to do, and then I try to help everyone else, and I don't know, I feel like it helps make me a better person by just helping other people when I'm done with my stuff. So probably that, because it's probably going to help set me up later in life better.
That's hard. That's a good one. Man, I think just don't give up. If you want something, and then to elaborate on that, if you really want something or want to do something, work hard and don't give up. And you can do anything, right? So I think my career has been very long, and there's so many times I can look back and be like, man, most guys would have quit, or a lot of guys would have quit then. It would have been way easier just to quit. And I think, but because I really wanted to do this and want to succeed at something I love to do, I didn't want to quit. So it's like, well, you got to put your head down, you got to work hard and don't give up, right? And yeah, a lot of times I could have given up and been easier, but if you love something enough, giving up isn't really an option. So yeah, work hard, don't give up.